What's up, guys? We're here at another day of the GSL Codas. Taste and Artos is here. Tasteosis.
And it's time for the Nestea Award, Tasteless!
It's going to be another day in esports history. The Nestea Award, of course, you get 10 GSLs in a row.
In a row,
which, by the way, is like practically impossible. And first person to do this was Nestea.
Yeah. And now DRG, he is the third player to do it.
Yeah.
And there you go. Third Nestea Award. That doesn't mean he's done 30 in a row, guys. It means he's the third to receive it. But it's a pretty sick victory to have. And in fact, his first round opponent here, Gumiho, this is his 9th. So if Gumiho makes it next season, he's got it as well.
So, a big day here for DRG. I mean, it is so unheard of. First of all, we're going to go to the interview here. He says, how does it feel to receive the award? It's an honor to get this award named after Nestea.
Got that right.
약간 주춤하면서 좀 흔들리는 게 아닌가라는 이야기가 있었는데 그걸 딛고 일어서 코드에서 입성했어요. 수많은 팬분들이 박수호 선수에게 박수를 쳐주고 있습니다. 자, 이번 시즌 각오 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 이번 시즌 여러모로
So you had a pretty long slump, and now you're back in the Codas.
생각하에.
So how do you feel about going into the season?
이번 시즌은 목표한 바가 상당히 클 텐데 그 우승했을 때 그 포스 이번 시즌 오늘 경기에서 보여줄 수 있는 거예요. 확실히.
So it's going to be a good season for me.
네, 오늘 짤 뚫도록 하겠습니다.
네. 다시 한번 멋진 경기를 보여주면서.
And also, since I received the award today, I'm going to do my best to advance as far as I possibly can.
선수에 이어서 정종현 선수 그리고 세 번째 박수호 선수에게 트로피를 전달하겠습니다. 다시 한번 뜨거운 박수, 큰 환호를 부탁드리겠습니다.
And there you have it.
There it is, the Nestea Award.
기대하겠습니다.
DRG, this guy's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
he's definitely earned this. Anybody who can stay in Codas, again, it's not just getting into Codas that's crazy. It's the fact that to be in there that many times in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting paired against the absolute cream of the crop in the entire world, and you keep entering in. It's crazy.
Sleep versus Maroon. Dream versus Beyond. First versus Jakji. Viva versus Flash. Innovation versus Hero. Dongnaegu versus Gumiho. Rain versus Songduri. Truth versus Kangho. Bomber versus Super. Yongha versus Zoo. Starts now. WCS Korea Season 3 GSL.
All right, today a very special day. We've got a bunch of amazing players coming in here.
And of course,
Innovation is the one I'm most excited for. Here.
Who am I most excited for? I don't even know because this group is actually just so ridiculously good. I think you're right, though. I think Innovation probably the most exciting player to be seeing here today. But let's talk about that Nestea Award for just one more moment.
Yeah, sure,
because
please.
I feel like I have to mention the Supernova Awards that have gone out, because Supernova was supposed to be the second player to get the Nestea Award. Yeah. He was 9 seasons in a row and didn't make it by 1 game in the up and downs. I'm laughing, but it's actually so sad.
So bad because, I mean,
you'll never do it again.
In a way, getting the Nestea Award is almost more impressive than winning a Codas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I would say it is more impressive. Less people are going to get that than win a Codas.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
The third Nestea Award going to DRG here. That's so sad, though. Yeah, Supernova was not.
But we also had this season 2 players that were going to get it and fell out during the up and downs at 9 seasons. Marine King, terribly sad, especially because he was actually doing very well in the group and then he kind of screwed up. And I believe Lenok was the other one, who is now just suddenly not in a Codas. I'm pretty sure.
I wonder how many players exactly have been in 9 Codases, because it's almost
a lot. In fact, when Nestea won the Nestea Award, Nada, if he hadn't retired, and if he had made it back into Codas and hadn't retired right then, would have also gotten it the same season.
That's crazy. And Nada's been retired for a while now, by the way.
Yeah, it's been.
It's actually...
the Nestea Award's very old.
So crazy. And it's so good for Nestea, man. Get the award actually named after him.
Oh, it should be tasteless.
I wonder if there was some sarcasm there with DRG. I'm so glad to get an award named after another player that plays Zerg.
Actually, I think he has in the past said in interviews that he really respects Nesty, so
You got it, man.
you must.
On to today's matches here. We're going to have Innovation against Hero, and then DRG here against Gumiho.
And of course, Gumiho, again, if he makes it in next season, Nesty award for him as well. It's pretty sick, man.
It's funny to see who ends up staying and who ends up fading out.
Yeah.
You know, for a while, DRG was in a bit of a slump. He was doing really, really
Yeah,
well,
he
and then
was.
he just, it's like that layer heavy play style. Just
Yeah.
wasn't working out as well for him.
You know what's funny? It is again now because he still used that in the up and downs to
Yeah.
get back here. So he'll be using a lot of layer tech today, Tasteless.
It's going to be interesting to see how effective it is here, especially against Gumiho.
Yeah.
Innovation against Hero here. Innovation, I would say it's safe to say he's the best player in the world right now. I know he didn't win his last championship.
Yeah, you know,
but
he's been knocked out enough times that I think we have to back up and say he's amongst, but I don't think we can just be like he's the best because he's lost.
If you're going to go like that, we got to say that there's some ambiguity about who's really number one. We're in one of those weird phases.
I would
For me,
agree.
when I watch him, I still feel like he's the best. But then again, you're right. He hasn't won everything.
Yeah, and you know, falling out in the first round of WCS season finals, you know, he lost a really close match to Tasia, who was just a man on fire during that tournament, man. He was so sick. And then losing to Nanoa that not many people expected, including Nanoa. Not performing as well, but he's innovation, man. We all know that this guy is godly. He just had an all-kill in the GSTL against Axiom Acer, a very strong team. Or no, not against Axiom Acer, I'm sorry, against FXO. He's on Axiom Acer. Well, Acer specifically. All right, I'm going to shut up.
Innovation against Hero. Hero, you know, this guy is really good, but nowhere near, you know, as far as fame goes and popularity, he doesn't hold a candle here to Innovation.
Oh, not even close.
Yeah.
But he's a really good Protoss player. He's one of my favorites to watch. And he's definitely got his own type of style and his own skill set.
Now, we've seen before from Innovation a lot of these all SCV pulls right when he gets ahead. I'm not just talking about that SCV timing late game where you go there before Storm. We've seen him do this in many different situations, and it's pretty cool. I don't know if he's sticking with it as much nowadays, but you know, it's a really impressive style. He's played some of the best StarCraft 2 games, actually the best games I've seen in an RTS in my entire life. And I've been casting games for like so long, like actually probably 10 years now. So, I mean, that's saying something.
Yeah, you know, he's so deadly. And about the SCV pull, one thing that I'm going to be looking for is, does he do an SCV pull against CJ Hero? Because Hero is extremely stylistic in Protoss vs. Terran. This guy, like, most likely, unless he has something crazy planned for Innovation like people oftentimes do, most likely he's going to go straight to 5 Colossus without a hiccup. 5. Most people go to 3, the SCV pull comes and kills them. This guy almost always goes to 5 Colossus.
Sticking with that heavy Colossi tech. That's going to be interesting to see how Innovation actually deals with that. Innovation, I think he mentioned in an interview recently somewhere, you know, some of the pressure was actually starting to get to him. It was actually catching up.
So a lot of people are saying he's the best.
Yeah.
Like us.
Yeah, and you know, it's one thing when you're one of the best, or even, let's say, an underdog, but you know you're good, and you're taking games off top-ranked players. But, you know, after time, Innovation was just at this level that nobody had ever even seen before. And I think that was also one of the reasons why, it was one of the reasons why, he was starting to have a hard time. Because all the eyeballs that follow StarCraft are on you.
Yeah,
that's a lot to live up to.
It certainly is, and especially when you basically, he has to know it in his own head. He's like, well, I beat everybody in practice.
Yeah.
I am the best, but does that mean you're going to win a particular match? No, absolutely
Yeah, because everybody thinks you're supposed to win. You ought to win,
This isn't an FPS, guys. There's ways to beat players that are better than you in this game.
I think this is going to be fun here. I mean, you've seen Innovation in this tournament. Can he actually get to a finals? Can he win the whole thing?
He always is a contender for it, I would say.
Yeah.
Always a contender.
I love the last match we cast with him against Flash. That was so fun.
Oh, God.
Just two gods battling.
It's wild to see him play someone his own level. And you know what? CJ Hero, I don't feel like he's quite at the level of Innovation, but he's strong. He's really strong. He's strong enough to kill Innovation. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go.
Looks like our first map is going to be Frost. And actually, we're going right into this because the countdown has now started. Frost is a big map with a lot of little bridges and pathways around the middle. So it's going to be a map that's different from a lot of the other maps we've casted on here. It's big like Whirlwind, but not with a big open area in the center. So let's see how they deal with that. As we go into this game now, it's loading up. Innovation over here against Frost. A TVP for our first game in today's round of 32 here in the GSL Codex. Over here in the upper right, currently the best StarCraft 2 Terran in the world. He is
Acer Innovation.
And over here in the bottom left, our Protoss player with a very unique and characteristic play style. He is
CJN2's Hero.
I'm pretty excited to see if Hero stays on his normal play, because with Innovation in Terran vs. Protoss, the guy can do pretty much anything. Like, he'll go for the big macro play, he'll go for SCV pulls, he'll go for like 5 racks before the third command. He has a lot of range, and a lot of it's based off what he scouts as well. So kind of a reactive guy.
For a second, I was going to check for the APM. One guy is
the classic Terran vs. Protoss APM.
Well, that was actually Innovation there, man.
Yeah.
The low APM there.
Oh, wait, I thought that was Innovation with the high APM. Am I?
No, it was Innovation with the low APM.
Oh, no way.
And
must have been cleaning his glasses or something. I don't know.
What's so funny, because I've heard people talk about this before, but like I've had a few fans we met overseas that watch the show, and they say, why don't they put the AP on all the time at the start of the game? And it's like, well, because
it looks silly.
Because it doesn't matter how fast they're actually playing at the start, because there's actually only so many things you can do. But that's actually a funny shot. We got to see one guy. Innovation's like, well, obviously I'm not going to waste my energy spamming early on.
It's more of a warm-up period than anything else. Just get your fingers warmed up.
For some people,
in the rhythm.
That repetition helps a lot. You'll even see people that spam out certain keys for certain units.
I would say the vast majority of pro gamers do that. The vast majority of StarCraft pros.
We also see the box spamming as well.
Yeah. Anything to be moving quick.
And then, when you're in a tournament and you're nervous and you're doing the box spamming and everybody's watching, and then you somehow accidentally hit S while you grabbed all the workers.
Oh, God, yeah.
You're like, oh, God damn it. All right, hold on.
Oh, my.
Has that actually happened to you personally? Because that's happened to me when I'm in an event.
Absolutely.
I'm like trying to look like really fast. Like I'm trying to look really badass, which like doesn't matter, because all I have to do is actually win, and that would make me like look badass in of itself. But I'm spamming.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, oh crap! Like
my ears turn red, and the hair on the back of my neck stands up, and I kind of slouch in my seat a bit more, get some tears in my eyes because I already know I'm going to lose.
You already know everybody's thinking about that, or at least you are.
Yeah.
Then you proceed to go in there and you lose your scout right away. Getting no intel, you're like, this is just a disaster.
Yeah.
Like,
why did I even show up? Why did I practice
why
all
am
year
I
for
here?
this?
How often do I play this game? I thought I'm supposed to be good by now. Okay, so we got the quick expansion here for Innovation. Not only are they in cross spots so they're far away, but it's pretty hard to make proper straight line down there to get to them. So they're going to be able to do a lot of heavy econ play.
Yeah, and you know what? This is... Right now, Hero's playing a little bit different than what he's shown us recently. A little bit slower on that second gas, a little bit more mineral focus. So I do wonder what he's going to be going for here, because, I feel like when you're playing against Innovation, and this is why I think you see Innovation, even though we call him the best player in the world, a lot of times he does lose. It's because people pull out crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, the best strats you got, you're going to use against somebody like this.
And we actually see...
Does he have a probe actually over at that
he does.
third? Is this going to be a StarCraft 1 PvT?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I think that this is actually a pretty smart idea, because against Command Center first, he'll probably hold on to this. All he has to do is make sure he has like 3 stalkers, and he'll be able to micro against anything he needs to with that mothership core as well. So look at that. Third Nexus, taking that little bit of risk, but I think it'll pay off.
Traditionally, if you guys want to old facts here, StarCraft 1, triple Nexus was common against Terran. It almost always actually to be expected. It was basically one of the best openers you could do. But that was because Terran would mech. So we don't see it as much here because Terran had to mech in StarCraft 1. And in StarCraft 2, they pretty much have to go bio.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we want to watch for is with drops and everything else going on, stimming and the speed of that, the maneuverability, with the Marines and the Marauders, can Hero actually hold down 3 bases? Because Tech is behind and unit production is behind.
Well, he's not just going for 3 bases. He's going for Forge before any more gates or any robo. So
he gets a Stargate and then gets a Fleet Beacon. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
You could see it. We'll see with Hero. But you know what? The thing I like about the 3 Nexus build is if you choose the right follow-up, then you crush what Terran's doing. But it's really hard to do because you can't tell what Terran's doing. And that's why, like, for instance, when Parting kind of made this the norm for a little bit way back in Wings of Liberty, he would like follow up with like an 8-gate push. Just keep Terran in their base while you get your tech out. Here, obviously, we're not going to see that with that Forge already up. And in fact, going right into Twilight. So I think that's a good choice. It's going to give him a little bit more maneuverability to try to cover all 3 bases.
Well, we have the, I think you're absolutely right, actually. This is going to be a weird game, man. This is just going to be a weird game. We have not casted this many games where they go through the quick 3rd Nexus.
Yeah, not in a long time.
Not a long-ass time.
But that's what makes it exciting. This season we've seen a lot of new strats coming out of the woodwork.
You know what? One of the things here, with all the good Protosses we see, it actually makes them different from, for instance, like a lot of the Terrans we see in some ways. All the Protosses play completely differently from each other.
Yes.
And I'd say that's more so than even like with the Zergs, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
You have, it's so... Especially like for instance, early game Zerg or Zerg rushes and all ends. It's like, well, there's actually we can list off all the ones they can do. Yeah,
it's much easier to figure out what a Zerg or Terran player is like than a Protoss. Every Protoss has his own style right now, and it's a wild thing. It's just like Starcraft 1 in that regard. That you can like taste which Protoss it is by licking the screen.
A variety of Protoss flavors.
Yes,
mine was tasteless, so.
It's like Baskin Robbins.
We got a bunch of gates coming up here now, and this is going to be a big unit explosion here with how much you can produce. That's what happens when you go 3 Nexus, and it goes uncontested in this case.
Charge Lot Archon with 10 gates, that's huge, especially when Innovation actually started his 3rd command center at a very normal time.
Yep.
Like right now, Innovation still doesn't know there's a 3rd base. He thinks this is a normal game, and he is in for a huge surprise. This is the one moment, though, where he might be able to get some damage done.
It looks like it's possible that actually Hero's going to be okay because all the gateways are just now finishing, which means he should get exactly one giant warp right here. I love this fake Colossus, by the way. This is so smart.
Yeah,
this is so intelligent.
That's pretty awesome. You got to hand it to him for that one. But we do have this drop going towards the main base.
All right, and he's going to come down in here, as you can see, more warp gates completing. But will he be able to hold this off? He should get a good warping around here. I'm surprised he's actually not engaging with that. Okay, now he's going to do it. I think he thought it was one medevac or something.
And, taking out the Tasis pylon. Now the Artosis pylon goes down.
And this is a lot of gates unpowered here. Going to go ahead and snipe that. Well, that thing just vaporized right there, the Colossus. Now backing out. So he'll have to get more of those additional pylons up and running. Meanwhile, another attack over here at the front. I think Hero should be able to hold all this.
Yeah, the problem is going to be just the maneuverability of this army.
Yeah, and those gateways being unpowered for a little bit here, so a few less units.
Yeah, he should definitely have more use than he has now.
He's doing it again.
That is a lot of medevacs full units.
When you're going for charge lots like this, one of the problems is you don't have those stalkers to shoot down a lot of these medevacs. Nice feedbacks, though.
Really well done with those feedbacks. Just the type of move that he needs to help stop this harassment. With only one medevac healing, eventually he will whittle this down.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to pick up from here. Go ahead and head out. Probably head back home. I don't think we're going to see any more harass, at least not with those 4 medevacs until they get repaired up. It looks like Innovation, by the way, going to go ahead and get the 3rd base up here.
This is looking a little bit scary, I think, for Innovation Tasis.
Yeah.
He hasn't done really that much damage, and even though he's like up in supply at this moment, there's going to be this slight timing, I think, where okay, well, the SCV pull, never mind any of that.
He's going to send all his SCVs here. He's basically doing this, guys, because he realized how behind he was with that 3rd being up, the fact that he didn't do that much damage. With good force fields, it's possible that Hero holds this. He is moving out, though, which means he's going to be in the open. He does not want to be in the open here. Let's see if he can control well enough. The SCVs have now been spotted, so he knows it's now or never here.
Well, here we go. The Ghost coming up, and he does get some snipes off. Kills 2 of the High Templars so far. There are 2 left. Will this be able to do it? That's a lot of Zealots warping in.
Okay, it looks like the rest of the SCVs are actually now getting there. He's sending those up into the front. It looks like a lot of the probe cells are going to be taken out. Nice storm there, though. you want to do this rush always before they get Psystorm, but actually, in this case, is he going to actually wipe this out?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he absolutely
Innovation is pretty good at StarCraft 2. No question about that.
Yeah, so he can kite these Zealots, and there's not really enough units in the back, to make this effective for the Protoss. The next kid, I think, is actually going to wear out in a second here.
Yeah.
And the next just doesn't die right away anyways. I can't believe he actually did this. I was actually thinking that Hero was going to hold.
Well, those couple of snipes really down the amount of Psystorm that he could use. And without that Psystorm, this army is really, really frightening. And Hero just doesn't have enough. He's going to lose his third Nexus. He's down a base. He's down supply. And he's going to be down a game.
All right. There's not much else to say with that. Yeah, I mean, Hero, I love the strategy. I think he executed it really well. But this attack here by Innovation was so tactically perfectly done.
Yeah.
That
he did everything right. You harassed just enough to slow him down. So Hero had to stay on the back foot. He had to stay defensive. Then he pulled his SCVs and sniped the Ghost. It was a beautiful play.
All right, just wiping out the rest of this army. We will be seeing a GG here. This is not something you can really recover from. He is still continuing to make Zealots, but as you can see, without anything with the Zealots don't end up really doing much damage. Now the Archon comes in here, but oh so late.
I think he's
GG, there it is.
He was trying to stay in with that low health and low medevac energy, but no real point there. You know what? I really like the build that Hero chose because it didn't look anything like any of his recent games, right? Because Innovation went through and he's like, okay, this is basically what I'm going to expect. It's going to be mostly Colossus space play, lots of upgrades, that type of thing. And then he does like 3 base, quick into charge lot. It's like really smart moves that caught Innovation off guard. But as we see, even when he's caught off guard, the kid just wins anyways.
I am so surprised that SCV pool worked. The Storm was ready.
He controlled it really well too. How he kept most of his army and SCVs back to try to get rid of the Ghost first, because after he unpowered those gates and like slowed it down, picked off a few Zealots here and there, and picked off some Archons, he knew that there would just barely not be enough units for Hero to really just force himself out and kill that all.
You gotta wonder what Hero's feeling right now. He's thinking, that's not supposed to work, right? Like
when he didn't get that third scout for so long, I bet he was feeling great, but right now not so great. Well, let's see. He's thinking, he's like, who's going to lose between Gumiho and DRG?
You may be right.
It's going over
our next map is going to be Akalon Wastes. If Hero wants to do the 3 Nexus again, this is a map he can do it on.
Yeah, he definitely can. That's but at the same time, that third is going to be, it's like a smaller map, so Innovation will get there a little bit quicker. So
that's true. Third is easy to secure, but then again, you're right. The map size may play a bigger role here because that last map, Frost, is insanely big. Well, looks like game number 2 is ready to go between Innovation and Hero here.